Is there really that they're incompetent at doing what they want, or their goal is actually something else? Their goal is to have the economy crash, so the 1% of 1% that have pulled their marbles out of the market just before can then buy everything a dime on the dollar, like they bought Greece. I mean, they own the whole country now, and you do that a few times, well, you end up owning the whole planet. And some people apparently, after having $1 gazillion is not enough, they want another one. I'm not in their shoes, so I don't understand their psychology. But could it be that it's not incompetence? Is that they're actually very competent at what they're doing? Not to go all conspirational here.
I think they're competent, but they're competent believers in their own groupthink. They have been drinking the Kool-Aid so long. It's a self-selected group. As I said the other day, there's probably 100 people really running the central banks of the world. There's probably a few hundred more that are, you know, like the chief economic researchers and advisors in these institutions, and there's some in the IMF, and you have a few in the Council of Economic Advisors, the Treasury Department, the EU bureaucracy, and so forth. But the whole system of central banking is being driven by a few thousand people that talk to each other and have come to believe almost the same thing, and that anybody who was not drinking the Kool-Aid one way or another, you know, got eliminated from the system. Because it's not like a democracy where you have elections, you can have, you know, you can have title changes. You can get a Trump after we had an Obama and we had a Bush and a Clinton and so forth. In the central banking system, it's self-perpetuating. It's unelected. It is a Politburo of small size worldwide. But it's not that there is a conspiracy. If it were as evil as, you know, the implication of your question might be, they're deliberately trying to blow it up so that they could somehow profit, you know, that would be one thing, but I don't think that's true. I think they believe so much in what they're doing that if you remember my opening slide, okay, it was the little furry guys going off the cliff. That's what I really think we have happening, we're going to have happening here. Now, remember, bubbles take years and years to expand, and then when you solve the last bubble's crash by quickly redoing the same thing and reinflating even more rapidly, by the time you get to the third bubble built on the shoulders of the last two, you're in an extremely precarious situation, and these bubbles collapse so fast that the central bankers are not going to be able to react fast enough to reflate this one. This is my view. Now let me just give you one reminder from last time. The Russell 2000 in the Greenspan bubble, you know, from 2001 to the peak in late 2007. The Russell 2000 basically went from 300 to 850 over a 6.5-year period of time, slowly working its way up the wall of worry, all that stuff, every setback a little bit every now and then. But anyway, it more than doubled over that period of time slowly. And then it went all the way back to 350 in 14 violent trading days between September 15, 2008, what we're the anniversary we're commemorating today, and the bottom in March. Now there's some days in between, but I'm saying it was 14 days. And that's how fast it happens. I gave you the April 2000 NASDAQ 100, 13 trading days, dropped 33%. If you think today that a drop of that kind of magnitude, which is possible, this is all bottled air. These markets are so inflated. I'm going to give one example and then I'll shut up. But they're so inflated because we're in the third bubble, sequential bubble of this decade, that they'll probably collapse even more dramatically. But remember, there's 80 trillion of market cap in the stock markets of the world, and there's another 100 trillion of tradable bonds and derivatives. But if it drops 30%, which could easily do when the machines start selling, the ETFs, the indexers, everything's indexed one way or another, you're going to take 25 trillion worth of paper wealth out of the world in a few days or weeks, and it's going to really, it'll happen so fast that the central banks won't be able to stop it or prevent it or, take control this time because they have very little dry powder left.